I've put on my stopwatch. I'm going to be relatively brief. Relatively. Let me say good evening to all of you and to welcome to Christ Church. I really don't like anybody putting anything in my mouth. And to welcome to Christ, you're a wicked woman. To welcome to Christ Church, our Prime Minister and Party Leader, the Right Honorable Ronald Jones, all of the colleagues from the House and the Senate, the leaders of our branches in Christ Church, all of the members and supporters from Christ Church, and all of the others who've come from the different parts of Barbados to be with us this evening. Indeed, in Christ Church, we are loving and welcoming people. That's what we are. I'm sure Sir Philip will tell you that the only reason that he hasn't lived in the North is because there's so much love in Christ Church, particularly in South Ridge, that I know that you ain't going back nowhere down there. You're staying right here and vote for Ronald Jones. I mean, I'm not saying that because I want your vote only, but that is an important criterion in this entire matter. So good evening to all of you. Christ Church is under attack. It is clear. It's absolutely clear. The southern flank of Barbados, from Christ Church East, Christ Church South, Christ Church West Central, East Central, and well, the West, because as is said by everybody, you deserve to be in the lower house. I want to move you from the upper house to the lower house. I have made that commitment. I am in my years, maybe the next 7 or so, where I want to put up my feet and take care of, just like John Boy's grandchildren. John has been walking about. Who's that laughing? Put him out. John has been walking. That's Dirk. He and her husbands, you know, they have this standing joke. We go to lunch sometimes on Fridays in Culloden Road, Prime Minister. I don't remember the name of the shop. What name? That's right name? Good. That's where we just go. And rather than drink water and eat food, they just be talking my name in front of me. Saying, how's an old man, Steve, but I got young things. In front of my face, you would never do that. You're a gentleman. Anyhow, Christ Church is under attack by the Barbados Labour Party. And to buttress that attack, they're looking to bring 5 new candidates against the 5 of us. And you know who the 5 are. Dr. Dennis Lowe, John Boyce, Stephen Lashley, Ronald Jones, and Verla de Pisa. Even though Verla is not yet in the lower house, they want to bring a new candidate against her because we have been cutting down the margin in Christ Church West over the last 3 elections. And we're gonna win that seat, you know. There are things that I see because I don't sleep. I have visions. That's there, adding somewhere down there. I have visions, and my vision is clear on this one. That there will not be a thorn in the side of the people in Christ Church South. But who likes a thorn? You're going to take a thorn and push in your side? You want to bleed to death? You want to lose your life? We pluck thorns out of people. We discard them. So all of this newfound fervor and this pretense, these are people who don't speak to poor people, you know. Glass windows roll right up even in winter. But somehow, before I stayed on the people of Christchurch, so, but they're not ignorant people. We know them. John knows them. And they will be true to form. Once they elect you, they trust you. John increases numbers in 2013 over 2008 because he was doing effective representation. And John is still a young man. And if he isn't young, there are organic substances that will make him feel young. Something at the back of the tongue, like a color blue. Light blue, Steve, you know about them. No, I use the one that is slightly yellow. I'm an expert. I doubt that Jerome really wants to go to Christchurch West. Because somehow Mia and Jerome in bed together, you know, it looks a little strange to me. It does. But I can leave that one alone. I leave that to John Boyce. You also have to note that Mia does not want the Barbados Labour Party to win the next election. Mia wants to win the next election. There's a difference. You've got to read through these things. All around here, like it was a national election. When I got up Friday morning and looked out through my window, I saw these colors with Mayor face and the word said hope. Mayor alone. Not another name, not another fella. It's all about Mayor. It's all about Mayor. Welcome, comrade. How did it, is it 5K? How did it go? You had a 5K today? How did it go? It went well. You walked or run? You mostly talk. It's about Mia. And there are elements in her party that understand this. Marshall understand this. Curry Simmons understand this. Glenn Clark, poor fella, he understands, but he got some tough times. But he understands it. Owen understood it very well and said, I ain't in there with she, and slip out. They all understand it. So don't be surprised that as the next year unfolds, that all kinds of stranger things will be happening. Pay attention. I don't think we pay, as a party, enough attention to these dynamics. Pay attention. Mayor has spent the last 3 years, or approaching 3 years, trying to stir up all kinds of unrest in Barbados. All kinds of unrest. Whispering in people's ears. Rubbing shoulders with people. This rubbing shoulder thing. They went in Austin to rub shoulders Friday night. They went to paint the tongue red. We don't want Christchurch paint red. We are too nationalistic in Christchurch. We want Christchurch to be blue and gold. And I'm committed to that. I was overseas when I got a call a few weeks ago from a good dame who told me that Mia and somebody called Straw was walking about in water. Straw. No, excuse me. Straw. I got a tongue thing. Somebody called Straw is going to run in Christchurch East Central because she has to get rid of Ronald Jones. Now, when Ronald Jones fall, all the rest will fall. Well, woman, look at the size of my back. My back big and broad. I will not go anywhere. And the other 4 too ain't going anywhere. We can take up that one in the West. So I don't care where you bring. It could be money. I'm not saying that you will use that. I don't know. It could be liquor, because they're always opening the trunks of their car I know that. I've seen it. And doing all kinds of things to persuade, particularly young people. I treat with young people differently. I am not about getting them drunk. I am not about what happened in 1999 when a certain candidate of the Barbados Labour Party went upon certain blocks in that part of Christchurch and said, fellas, don't let nobody know, but we can legalize marijuana. They will do anything to get in power. Dirty set of people. Tell the truth here. Because some of the same fellas came and told me, Jonesy, what one of the fellas going to do, because the other fellas tell me that they can legalize marijuana. This is what they do, all kind of underground, surreptitious levels of behavior to promote and to convince persons to follow them. Now, I know that we've had to be very strong in a lot of the policies that we have unfolded. And we've had to be strong in the face of the adversities that we face domestically, regionally, and internationally. But our strength is derived from who we are. The ideology and philosophy that has undergirded everything as young people, and now slightly younger, like our husbands, that we have done over time. We have imbued into our bosoms the philosophy of Earl Barr, the philosophy of J. Cameron Tudor, the philosophy of Patsy Springer, and we can go on. We have taken that into our consciousness as good citizens of Barbados. Because when you read our profile is about service. It's not about taking and holding on and grabbing. It's about service. Even before we considered politics, we worked in our communities. We worked in our schools, in our old scholars, in our youth groups. We didn't wait on the government to cut a playing field. We did it. We joined with others in weed whack, but they had weed whackers then, but we had swords, and we cut and swipes and scythes or sickles, as we would call them in Christchurch. You know, it was a sickle prime minister. You don't look like you cutting the grass here. You look too polished. So he came in. But I would let him back in my schools, shirt well put in and stomach pull up, going home with his 14 still in. He ain't dirty in that 14. Michael Carrington don't know what 14 is. I know you know Michael Carrington very well, Derek. Leave him alone. He ain't trouble you. We have to rededicate ourselves to the philosophy, the ideology. Too many of us have forgotten our journey from 1955. Too many. We are too willing to throw away those things that were good because people tell us, don't talk about the history. Don't talk about the past. Don't talk about how good this party has been to education. People tell us that, don't want us to go back too much into the past. We are still talking about slavery. And it's important that we do. Important markers. So why can't we not talk about education? The great takeoff from around January of 1962, promise and pledge in the manifesto of 1961. We're the education party. We have done so much for education in this country. And even though, as I mentioned, we've had some challenges, as in our tertiary education sector, because of the tremendous costs. You know that there are people in this country who never knew the amount of money that was being paid for them over a 3 or 4 year period. God didn't have to care. You just went. People don't know that hitherto, 2 years ago, to educate one doctor was $389,000. One. Not the 25 that we were educating in Barbados, nor the 5 in Trinidad, 95 in Jamaica, we were doing 35. And a lot of people don't understand that isn't all. Those are the ones that's sponsored by the government. But we have doctors who go to these institutions as well because they're island scholars. So that's where you run into some difficulty, John, because we sponsor 25 in Barbados directly from the Treasury. And then if out of the 56 exhibitioners and scholarship winners, and all of them want to go up to Cave Hill, they're paid for too. So that's 81 if they want to go. More Barbadians are staying home and going to Cave Hill. Some still go to Canada and England to do medicine. A few go to Trinidad and a few go to Jamaica. And we have a few in Cuba and things like that. But so people should know that we still provide a massive amount of resources to educate Barbadians. Those, I was going to call a word, when I get super prime minister, I say things. Earlier I saw things, now I say things. That's when you're complete. You see and you hear. We still train lawyers. We still pay the majority of the money for them at Cave Hill and then at Sir Hugh Wooden. But I have to tell the AG, Minister of Home Affairs, that there have been young lawyers coming to me saying, Minister, we ain't getting work. Things tough. Because as Sir Philip knows, you can stay in practice, especially if you are, own your own little shingle, till you can't see the paper to write on. And then a firm can only hold that many. We got over 100 people training in first and second year at Sir Hugh Wooden. Well, I don't know where the AG. I know the AG likes the glamour. 50 just got called to the bar. And then in October next year, there's got 2 swearing-ins, right? Another whole bunch. So we're going to have to look at that and tweak it because you don't want to deprive anyone from, the area of activity, area of focus. But it's important to create a balance. It's important that we put some resources to those young athletes. And that's what we're doing. I've spoken about this, the paper is being written. I think we have been doing some things to make sure we don't go over our budget, but to make sure that that talented young Barbadian group, athletes, Rivaldo Leacock, who's now going to Foundation, who won, I think it was the 400 hurdles. I tried running one time a 10-meter hurdles. Let me tell you, it is not easy even to run a 10-meter hurdles. At the end of the day, I was panting, gasping for breath. And there was a lady nearby saying, come and get my mouth resuscitation, please. Come. It didn't work out, though. It did not work out. Something was wrong with she, not me. We're going to do that. 1,800 graduates of the University of the West Indies graduated, not last week, not Saturday gone here, the Saturday before I was there. I was there with them young people. I know there's some who still have challenges with accessing education at Cave Hill. And we're going to work it in such a way that they can access. Not everybody has $1,000. There's some people with 50. But once they have the ability and talent, we're going to work it. That is as much as I can say. And it's important because young people of this nation are important to us. And we're going to, 1,800. In another week, SJPP will be graduating theirs. I think you are invited. Polytechnic, SJPP. And BCC will be graduating theirs as well. Same day. He go to one, and I can go to the other one. So tell your wife early, because I know you're frightened for she. That's one of the secrets I let out. He thinks he knows my secrets. Then he truly don't know me. My grandmother always said, Steve, don't lay your right hand on where your left hand doing. So I did show he only the right hand. But he did show me both and he won. Got you good. Think he knows things about me. I pretended that he doesn't. We identified in our manifesto of 2013 some programs which we wanted to do. And I was over the last week just reflecting and looking and seeing what we have done. We said in our manifesto we're going to continue to build out nursery education. That's in the manifesto, you know. We said it in 1961. Still continue being unfolded and making sense and purpose of that. I took a look at the Barbados Labour Party's conference document. Is online, so I went on and looked at what it said about it. And Hinkson, that clung. He's the only body that has ever got me vexed. The man talks so much rubbish that he just got me vexed. The house is not for rubbish. So I look and said, so he was talking about nursery education and I had to correct him on Tuesday in the house, you know. This is the first time he sat down quiet. He sat down like a little boy being punished by his teacher. So he wrote something on nursery education. By the end of the cycle of building these 6 nursery schools, we would have satisfied 100% placement for all nursery-age children in Barbados. I keep saying the building one is already near completion up here in Gore Hill, as you leave church, you back a foundation. Beautiful. When it's done, I can invite one to come. Pretty, like me. You see how Verna smiling with me? Do that one more time. That sounded like John Noah bass. We're going up in St. Philip South and plant the other one. That is ready to unfold. We're going in St. James South and put down the other one. Sears Court, put down another one. That sounds like English. Put down another one. And the other 2, we can put them down too. One somewhere down in St. James. Don't get me vexed. Or you can put it somewhere else. Michael last year said he wanted up there. You know, Michael don't say no to nothing. But Michael don't say no to nothing. Well, I get to want them too. Yes, Michael. Especially if you get a second child. There's foolishness you telling me that you got one and no more. Try and do something unless let it be at home and not abroad. That is important. The Attorney General spoke to the New Horizons Academy. Look, human beings get uncomfortable with each other. And in large classes, some people can't relate. So they fight. They do some indiscipline. So we spent $2.6 million and transformed the old Erdelston Primary School. You should go and take a look at it. Look real good. Beautiful. And we're stacking it there with, children who have challenges. The maximum number is 60. We have 2 social workers, 2 guidance counselors, and teachers specially trained to deal with those young people. And we are beginning to see success. That is what you were talking about, at AG. One day, I was a little annoyed because I don't think the AG did sell himself well. I keep telling him so. He's a bright fella, but slightly foolish. I don't know if he mixed the two. I got a note on my desk. Minister, I'm concerned about some of the issues among young people. Come up the road by me and let's have a meeting on this matter. He's junior to me, he's younger than I am. He's not been in the house long enough and he writing me and telling me, come up there. I went. He got contact with the commissioner of police. So I went. And we had an excellent meeting of what kind of path we were going to chart to see if you were there. This fella here, this fella Holder from St. Joseph. I want that seat too. When I want things, nobody don't turn me down. I wipe my mouth clean. You pick up signs and signals. And we had, and up to about 2 months ago, another discussion on how we're going to roll these things out, create these synergies across youth, across the Home Affairs Ministry, and across education to really work with these young people who show up, output severe challenges. And so he's right. We're working on those. We said in the manifesto that our CVK program and our NVQ program will be rolled out. For the last 3 years, we've been writing Caribbean vocational qualifications in our schools. The last 3 years, that was in our manifesto and being met, and more are coming on stream. No school will be left out. No school. Because competency, what we call skill development or competency training, is really what now is moving forward. And schools can do it. And the Technical Vocational Training Board with the National Vocational Qualifications. So if you want to cut your hair, sir, well, they ain't got too much difficulty. God, just rub some shaving cream on that. But don't mind that. Steve one is better. He has to get the what's called that thing? The pliers. Not pliers. Wait, here, a clipper to shape his nicely. The shears. Oh, not shears, man. This fella's wicked, you know. To cut his nicely. So you can get a CVQ in barbering. So you can leave school and walk in a barbershop and cut Jeff to here. Sorry, I say. Well, somebody I got here. The Prime Minister head. Rather than he going to Blaze Hill, he can go to Headings. Or he can go to St. Lawrence Gap. Or Clapham. And still get his done well. This is what we are doing in schools. And it's working. This year we wrote the Caribbean Certificate for Secondary Level Competence. 5 of our schools. 5. Because it only started about 2 years ago. And it is a 2-year program to work out. And that is happening. But yet, there are people who want to destroy, discredit, abuse, give a dog a bad name and then shoot him. And a lot of that is happening in this country. I don't question myself, I allow people to question me. Because I don't hear them. I don't hear the detractors. Water off the duck's back. You got to become like me. Hard. Sleep at night. Dream sometimes. Not that one. We are a good party and a good government. We need to remind ourselves of this sometimes. We have worked through 8 years. I don't know how we've survived. Thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you. I don't know how we have survived. We are the children of yam, breadfruit, eddos, cassava, string beans, pumpkins, sow pork. When the pig breeds a lot, you don't throw it away. You just cut out where the breast is, and you still sell pork. You get some grass and things to cut off some of the fat. You know about that, sir. Your father was a good one. That's Mr. Maloney. Yeah, he lived over the hill and he lived down the hill. So I know about that sow pork. If you had diarrhea, you eat some of that sow pork, you have diarrhea no more. Free passage. I love culture. I love it. I don't run and hurry from my beginnings or my origins, I ain't got none of them hang-ups. The Barbados Labour Party under Mayor Motley is extremely dangerous. They know how to obfuscate. They know how to lie. They know how to manipulate. When you got a hydra, you don't cut off one head. You cut off all the heads. Everyone. If if you listen to some of the things they say in the public space, some of the wickedness on social media, you would know exactly what I mean. And they have it well plotted, well orchestrated. They bring a whole bevy of people to say the same thing over and over and over. I am convinced beyond any shadow of a doubt that we have the talent, we have the leadership acumen, we have the ability to transform. Because what we are really doing now that they should have done since 1994 was to restructure this economy, restructure this society. They never did. We gave them an excellent platform and they squandered everything. We are restructuring. We have taken a fresh look, a new guard at tourism. We have also said, and Dr. David Eswick understands what he's doing in agriculture. He understands it. We can't get rid of all the cane plants in Barbados. So we're going to produce sugar for local consumption. We're going to get some molasses for good rum. We're going to build out the factory for cogeneration so we can put some renewable energy into the grid. So you'll make more money, and farmers will be better placed to make $1 and to give the workers a bit of that. So he understands. We have been doing things with breadfruit. You could, if you don't want to cook your breadfruit, a good yellow or white breadfruit, and pong it. I like the pong one. I don't like the one that looks so fancy. I still like to feel a little piece of something in my mouth. And it's real smooth. But that is technology at work. So you can go and get a Carameter's breadfruit, a little hot water, stir it around with some saltfish, and you got food if you can't cook. Cassava, once the wicked thieves leave it alone. They don't call them thieves. What do they call them? Pre-deal larcenists. They're thieves. All this fancy word about pre-deal larceny. They're thieves. You got your cassava planted. I can shut up now. I come back again next year. And next year soon, because the rest can do some of this. You plant your crops. You water them. You take the weed from among them, and you come out every morning and say, oh, my green fingers, how good I am. And you come out the next morning and you say, well, are you in the wrong house? Everything clean up the night. Every cassava gone. You should reap what you sow, not what somebody else has sown. And we got to deal with that in a substantial way. So we know what we are doing. In education, we have just completed a study through the European Union as part of the Human Resource Development Strategy on education as an economic area of development. So we're looking at international students coming to Barbados, not only to the University of the West Indies, but with BCC, SJPP, offshore medical schools. And we have looked at the amount of money that can be generated if that really and genuinely takes off. That's another area of economic activity, selling what we do well in Barbados to the world. On next Saturday, I will be doing a feature address at BIMAP for 70 Nigerians who are graduating from the program offered by BIMAP. 70. They had some hiccups and people were poking microphones in their mouth and telling them, say things to me, and writing things that didn't happen. They settled down. Have you heard any noise about Nigerians in the last 7 months? Huh? In fact, you're right. You know a lot of things here. You're a bright boy. You're calm here. You see somebody clapping. I mentioned calm here. Up and on. We said to the husbands, he said, down and out. Then up and on, down and out. They marched in the rally and parade on Friday. They were among the 1,700 in the tertiary section, BIMAP march, and there were the marchers. UWI march, BCC, SJPP, and Erdiston march. And some beautiful little 3- and 4-year-olds. Harry wanted to march with them. Boy, you can't go back there. You more march with those who go to the grave. 1,700 young people. And then we heard some music. Boy, this country got in some bright, brilliant young people here, I tell you. I listened to a pop band from Frederick Smith. 3 young ladies up front in school clothes. A fella on a bass guitar, piano and drum. Hallelujah. Them young people could sing and play. You were there. Tell the people how good they were. And steel pan and vocalization. Stop doubting our young people, man. They're good. Yes, we have some that we got to pull back into the center. And we're working on those. They are really, really good. And I compliment all of them for their work. I got to wrap up here because there have been some noises, particularly in education. But I understand. I'm a sympathetic fella. You know, you just got to spread your feathers and flap your wings, even if you keep your feet on the ground. So I understand. I don't quarrel with nobody. I don't even quarrel at home. I want to sleep home. That's the kind of effect that the husband has on me. If you quarrel at home, you get put out. Over 200 teachers have so far been appointed. In the next 3 weeks or so, the other 216 in the first cohort will also be appointed. That will take us to the first tranche of the 416. Thank you, Prime Minister, because you're the head of the civil service. We could only do the work inside. You gotta say, yes, this gonna happen, and you did. You don't blow your trumpets, even though somebody tell me that you used to sing in some church choir. But that is singing, that isn't blowing trumpet. Maybe Michael Lashley, who plays the bass guitar, can also teach you how to blow. Fat jaws and all. And when the bill is passed or laid in Parliament, I believe coming soon, there's another 236. Or is it 263? I think it's 263 to be appointed. Another 263. Bring it to around 700 teachers. It is the first time, and I can say that loud again. It is the first time, Pedro, my friend Pedro, I used to go to Pedro's house in Vineyard. He got some nice family up there in Vineyard. Prime Minister, Pedro live in Vineyard. Oh yeah, so I used to go there. I sold Pedro his first computer. And he liked my French so much, he used to mash it up and tell me come back and fix it. It is the first time in the history of Barbados for either education or anywhere in the public service that in one fell swoop, 416 persons were appointed in this country. In one fell swoop. And then following up, another 263. You understand? Let me tell you. Sorry, allow me to say to you. Dexterity, you know you can speak Bajan and English too. I like Bajan. It's more emphatic. It's short and sweet and poignant. Prime Minister God speak. And here's my guess. So I can keep you long, sir, before I bring out the food. I'll give you just a little appetizer, sir. First time. But everybody has taken that for granted. Ain't a big thing. Nearly 700 in less than 4 months? Huh? You know what I'm talking about? I am telling them to be thankful. But history stands out today because of these efforts on behalf of workers of Barbados, workers in education. So leave me alone. Leave our husbands alone. I gotta help this poor fella. Years ago, we used to go to that beach down in Holtong name, near the Folkestone. I haven't been there recently. Senator Husbands used to be a pretty good swimmer, but he had one impediment. These glasses are really refined. And back in the day, his glasses used to be like thick so. You remember? Fat. I never knew people had fat glasses like that. So he wanted to demonstrate to us how good he could swim. So we said, all right, Harry, go ahead, man. Go to yonder, touch that board and come back. So he walked up to the surf, took off his glasses and he hold that for me and struck out. You know the man couldn't see? It's the strangest thing. But he did swim beautifully. He has these beautiful movements. Graceful. I started looking at it strange. You moving very gracefully. Small fingers and all. Boy, look. There's a lot more work to be done in this country by the Democratic Labour Party. It cannot be done in 2 years. Neither can it be done in 7 years. In fact, when I look at the program, it's going to take us 20 years from today to achieve what we really have to achieve on behalf of the good people of Barbados. So I tell Mayor come, she can rub shoulders or she can start at the back of the head and go right down to the waist and then go down to the ankles. I don't know which part she can spend the longest time. You understand? We have more work to do. And we want all of you on board. Stay the course. Stay the course. Hold firm. Don't let the words that you hear on call-in programs that is orchestrated. Don't say the words that you read sometimes in the paper. They do what they have to do. They don't know any better. Not these beautiful journalists, you know. Not these lovely young people here. Well, middle-aged and going over the other side and undertaker calling. Not you. The lovely young people. They're right. But they don't determine everything that comes out in the paper. So they're not our enemies. It is those who craftily and wickedly and deceptively try to control the minds of the people of Barbados to their own ends. But I know our people. They will stand tall, they will stand firm, and they will stay committed through the challenges that we face to the work of the Democratic Labour Party because they know that the Democratic Labour Party cares about the people of Barbados. Red, yellow, pink, blue. Your color, my color. I know what color you is, so I said your color, you know. White, everybody. The whole, the lame. Those who have disabilities. Those who don't. We care about everybody. That is what makes us a great party. How we care. Let's all be together. Stay the course. We will refine the future. Thank you so much.